Alright, I'm back. We got some Block 15. This is part of their Dab Lab. And this one's Northern Lights IPA. Let's see, we got 7% ABV. Block 15 is out of Corvallis, Oregon. There's a look at the label there. You can see we got the Space Needle in the background. Interesting. Considering they're from Oregon. So we got Dab Lab, Northern Lights. This Washington exclusive. That explains it right off the bat. Features kettle editions of CTZ, Chinook, and Centennial hops. The reason Washington explains it is because the Space Needle's in Seattle, Washington. Along with a Simcoe CO2 extract and an early fermenter dab of Sultana hop oil. Then it's double dry hopped with Mosaic Simcoe and Mosaic Lupomax pellets. An absolute heater of an IPA, pushing hop saturation boundaries with layer upon layer of sticky, pungent Northwest hops. It says Washington exclusive right there. Dab Lab series focus on vibrant, hop-forward ales that prominently feature extractions. Independent artisan beer. So there is all of that info for you guys. We got some real hop in this one. A lot of hops. We got a glass here. Let's go ahead and get right into this. The Dab series from Block 15. Block 15 is a brewery that I have a lot of respect for. One of my favorite breweries in the Pacific Northwest. They do good things. So you can see here, it looks like I have a bright, not really bright actually, this one's more of a pale orange, pushing kind of like a copper color almost. Nice nose to it. It's kind of piney, but more mellow. A little bit of like candy sweetness as well. Interesting. We got about 2 fingers of bright white foam head. This one looks like it's a little bit unfiltered. It's not necessarily like super hazy. I can see my finger through the glass. One thing I notice about the camera is that it always makes the beer look darker than it is. I think it has something to do with my downward facing lights, but it's kind of a pale orange color. Fuck yeah. Ooh. This one has like some dankness. It kind of curled my tongue up there for a second, and it came after I swallowed. While the beer was washing over my tongue, piney, citrusy, but after I swallowed, is like it curled up like a salted snail with dankness. Very interesting. This is my 3rd beer, so it's not my first sip of the day. A lot of time the first sip is more bitter than all the subsequent sips, but that one was pretty bitter as well. Okay, subsequent sip, still pretty fucking bitter. Medium high to high bitterness. Definitely bringing it. It has a little bit of candy sweetness coming through on this second sip. A lighter malt body, definitely letting the hop shine here. But yeah, pine, dank resinous hops in spades. There is a little bit of fruit character, a little bit of candy sweetness, but it's mellow. It's undertones. All right, let's get into this shave. Today, we're doing September samples with Lee Badley Brewed, even though it's October 4th. No, I'm just fucking with you guys. We're doing a sample shave today. This one is from Gentleman's Nod, and it's called Musashi. Now, this one created a lot of buzz. I think this one was a big success, great success. This sample was given to me by Brian over at the Wet Shave Experience. He sent some stuff back home to me when he sent me back my razor that he was borrowing. I have it whipped up right here in my Thirsty Badger shave bowl, a staple of my daily shaves. Beautiful bowl. We got our Wolf Whiskers custom here. This is a black and silver brush, and it has a black Wolf synthetic knot on top. Let's go ahead and wet the face and get this shave rolling. I hope everybody is doing well. Hope everybody had a good day, had a good shave. Let's talk a little bit about the scent here. So I was looking it up. It looks like it's pretty much sold out. I have no idea if they're going to restock this. Admittedly, in the forefront of this video, I'm going to say I'm not the biggest fan of Gentleman's Nod. And so you can take this whole thing with a pinch of salt. But this was a sample given to me from a friend, so I have no reason to lie about any of my findings in this video. But with that said, I wanted to be frugal with the amount of soap I used to try to make this lather. I've used past Gentleman's Nod soap bases. They were Cardinal, but I have no idea what iteration of Cardinal it was. Again, not the biggest fan of Gentleman's Nod. And I had a pretty horrible experience with earlier Gentleman's Nod bases, in the fact that I had to load heavier than like a cargo plane bringing, aid to the needy. Like, I loaded heavier than fuck, and I still kind of got like a half-ass lather out of it. And so I chose a synthetic for this one, anticipating problems. Now, I wanted to go frugal because Brian was frugal and only sent me a 1/4 ounce sample. Now, he only had 1/4 ounce sample jars on him, so, and it's free, and I appreciate Brian, and I'm just giving him shit. But I tried to be frugal, so I cut it in half, tried to put 1/8 of an ounce of soap in there, and I lathered it until all the soap was off the bottom, and I just didn't have that much lather. So I put the other 1/8 in, whipped it back up into shape, made sure that all the soap was off the bottom, and then got this lather that I have here, and it looks great. So, I loaded heavy, not crazy heavy, about the norm for me, really. But it took that little extra to get it there. Today we're using the Charcoal Goods Level 2 razor, and I don't know how well that's going to come across because it's focusing on this. But it's the Charcoal Goods Level 2 razor. This is the Alpha Shaving Company Outlaw handle, and inside we have a Gillette Nacet blade. So, after I put the full 1/8 in there, or 1/4, whatever the hell it was, 1/4 of an ounce. After I put the whole sample in there, it whipped up into a very nice looking lather. Looked very shiny, very luxurious. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe those are 1/4 ounce samples. He had it pretty full. There was a little bit of air room, but it was pretty full. And if I am wrong, I'm sorry. There we go. So, what I do remember from the old Cardinal version that I used, don't remember which one it was that it had great slickness.
from what I remember, it had a decent density. Had a nice post shave. But you had to load that motherfucker like crazy to get any volume. Even with the synthetic brush, it was unreal, and I didn't like it. And I know I wasn't alone. That is not the reason, that's not the only reason why I'm not the biggest fan of Gentleman's Knot. But, I don't have like real hate for Gentleman's Knot. I'm just not a huge supporter of theirs. Now this one, Musashi, it made a lot of buzz. A lot of people like it. I think it's a lot of people's contender for best scent of the year thus far. And that's saying something. So you kind of know that the scent on this one must be pretty good if everyone that tries it likes it. And I gotta say, when I opened the sample, albeit the sample jar had a kind of a weak scent strength, once I got it loaded up and lathered, this is a wonderful scent. It smells great. To me, it's definitely a tea-forward scent. So the scent notes on this one were really vague and kind of irritating. So I looked it up on multiple websites, including Gentleman Nod's own website. Sorry, like I said, it's like my third beer. And this is what I could find. Citrus. No idea which ones. But it did say Nashi pear, so it named that specifically. It said jasmine tea, so it named that specifically. And then it said florals, spice, earthy and woodsy on the base. Really not giving us much of anything. So the C4 base is a tallow base, and it's recommended to be face lathered. They made sure to put that in on there. Not a face lather, I'm a bowl lather. Sorry and shit. And if you'll notice, I just drink out of the can instead of the cup. My bad. Let's go ahead and grab some more lather, which we have plenty of, I'm happy to report. It was a little bit weird, like doubling the dose of soap after I have had a fully formed lather. It took a keen eye and some patience and attention to detail to get it to where the lathers kind of formed together after it went from fully hydrated to dry and then rehydrated again. Very interesting. But we got it done. The lather held up great. It's holding up great. It seems to me like it has good stability and longevity. Has a very nice density to it, albeit low structure. But low structure, nice density. That is something that I like because it delivers a very luxurious face feel. And luxury, not something that we need, but it's something that's definitely appreciated. So very good looking lather. And it wasn't really hard to whip up either. It took a decent amount of water, but it wasn't hard to whip up. So the scent on this one, I would say the jasmine tea definitely takes the forefront. It's got this sweet herbal tea nature to it, but it's like, no, I described that perfectly. Sweet herbal tea, and then There's definitely some light florals dancing on top of that tea. I would say the earthy, woodsy base does not come across in the soap, in the lather. That is probably something that you would find in the dry down of the aftershave or the dry down of the matching EDT. But it is something that is just not present in the soap, and I'm really not that mad about it. This kind of got like a all year round wear appeal. Definitely something that you could rock on almost any occasion. Might not be the most sexy of scents, maybe not a date night scent, but like wearing it to work, wearing it to errands, wearing it to church, family functions, going out, hanging with friends, you know, like, this can be worn in almost all situations. And hell, if your wife likes this, maybe, which she probably will, let's be honest, it's a great scent. Maybe it is a sexy scent, who knows? I guess that's subjective, isn't it? But it doesn't really have like a stereotypical sexy appeal to it. I'm thinking this blade is a little bit old, because this is one of my favorite razors, and I'm definitely tearing up a few areas of my neck here. I do feel like it's a little bit of irritation from yesterday's Gillette shave, but still, this is one of my favorite razors. I usually get flawless shaves with it, so I'm gonna halfway blame the blade. It's definitely not me. I'm doing my part. And the soap has all the slickness I'd ever need. It's plenty slick. Original and residual. So can't blame the soap. Soap's doing its part. C4 base is definitely an improvement from whatever the hell base I used back when. Now another thing, since this was sold out, I don't know what the price was. Since it's a sample, I don't know how much is in a full-size tub. But if they ever restock it, this is one that I would definitely go buy. I think with this release, Gentleman's Nod has scored some brownie points with me via Brian the Wet Shave experience. So this is why sending samples to each other or offering samples to your customers is such a great thing, because samples lead to sales. I know they're a headache to make. I know they're a cost that's maybe not worth the time, but samples lead to sales, so it is worth your time. All right, let's go ahead and rinse off, and we will get some aftershave on. I did not get a sample of the matching aftershave, so I'm gonna go with something that smells very similar. Another tea scent, and that one is from Løthur Grooming. It's called Dave. I've used it a few times on the channel, and it's another, pretty popular crowd pleaser type tea scents. Very approachable, and much in the same vein as Musashi, if I'm being honest with myself. Alright. Grab the Lancaster Razor Works Black Sheep Towel. So plush, so luxurious. Another piece of kit that's part of my daily shaves.
Definitely got a few weepers on the neck to address. I think that's just mostly leftover irritation from yesterday, but that was not a fresh blade either. No idea how many uses it had on it. So that could have also factored into it. I have a little stash of blades that I rotate over here, and I never really know how many shaves they have on them unless I use them in succession. So it is what it is. Alright. Løthur Grooming, Dave, Aftershave Splash. Show you the side label there if you want to pause and take a closer look. I already gave it a shake, so let's open it. We got a quality industry standard restrictor on top. Give it a fair few shakes there. Very nice restrictor on that one. It's kind of got a thicker, oily feel. So I'm just going to kind of do like 1 or 2 swipes on the cheeks. And I'm going to kind of focus more on the neck where more damage was done. It definitely goes on a bit heavy, but I think with this heavy, tacky aftershave, once it soaks in, it's gonna leave the skin feeling really good. So it should only take probably 5 minutes, and it'll be soaked in, and the skin will immediately feel softer and more supple. Alright guys, so gentleman's nod, scored some brownie points with Musashi. Very good stuff, great scent. The Cardinal base is definitely up there where it needs to be now. Seems like everybody enjoyed this one, including me. No idea what the price was, but you know, price is subjective as well. So, thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video. I appreciate you. Hope you guys have a good rest of your week, and I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.